Recently, I've been inhaling a dangerous amount of saltpeter, sulfur, and charcoal. For those that aren't adept in any sort of chemistry or just haven't spent the time to watch Dr. Stone, black powder.
Well, I actually learned that from New World.
Not true, nobody plays that game anymore. 15 seconds into the video and I already steered off course. For real, I got the attention span of a mosquito. It sucks. Okay, with my horrible jokes aside, recently I've been inhaling a dangerous amount of black powder and honestly it feels pretty good. The game, not the black powder. Well, maybe the lack of oxygen made them feel loopy and lightheaded, but that speculation irrelevant and besides the point. Holdfast. The game I'm talking about is Holdfast. If I didn't just say it, I would just float around it, which might be beneficial if I was playing one of their naval maps, but that's a whole nother point. Holdfast, Nations at War is an online multiplayer first and third person shooter that focuses on a combination of teamwork and individual skill. Players take part in historical clashes on land and at sea waged by the most powerful nations during the Great Napoleonic era. And it's amazing. Kinda. Somewhat. Okay, don't get me wrong, the game is a fun shooter when your team is somewhat organized. But the bar for being somewhat organized is quite low. So low in fact, I can't even limbo under it. But for the most part, if you're on a team with a few people making calls and very loose strategies, and no, yelling "do the scene from the Patriot" repeatedly isn't a strategy. I honestly think it's less helpful than just yelling push. To be honest, it's not very descriptive at all, but you guys do you, I guess. Weirdos. From a warfare standpoint, this era was honestly horrendous. It's an odd time when guns still got beat by swords and long stabby things on the end of muskets. The bayonet, bozo. Oh yes, thank you. And oh how I cherish those long stabby things. Shockingly, muskets aren't very accurate, making it hard to hit anything past 70 feet. For reference, most objective fights in this game usually take place between 10 to 60 feet away. Then of course there's some close hand-to-hand combat, normally only on pushes, due to having no time to reload when closing a gap. Let's talk about hand-to-hand combat for a bit because it's a nice spice of life in Holdfast. It's a nice bridge for those who enjoy medieval games with directional blocking, yet want to feel like a sharpshooter. Hey come on, that deserves a sub. And who knows, maybe you could snipe the like button as well. Alright, we're getting off track, let's get back to the hand-to-hand combat. It seems though that half the players just swing their swords and bayonets around like a caveman that just discovered a club for the first time. I'm honestly not complaining, because I'm not actually the greatest swordsman. I know, shocker. Wait. You're trying to tell me a person born in the 21st century sucks at wielding a sword? Yes I am. But honestly, the game's combat is so scuffed, making it impossible to recommend this game for anybody who wants to outplay the fuck out of people in hand-to-hand combat. Seriously. It's honestly a shame because the game has a lot of potential. Or maybe it's just because I like the genre's classic 4-directional blocking system. This is speculation, so don't quote me on this, but maybe the 150 player servers were a little ambitious for this small game dev studio that literally released just this one game. This would even be ambitious for a AAA title to do. Nonetheless, they did it, and the servers have the worst hit registration I ever played with. The game feels sub-adequate compared to other melee combat titles like Last Oasis, Mountain Blade, and somehow even Sea of Thieves. I know, the last one sounds like a stretch, but just trust me, it works. So to summarize, I would give the melee combat in this game a rating of 3 out of 10. It's fun, but definitely not good, nor the main selling point of Holdfast. Literally, 2 out of 3 hits you make on a target don't actually connect, making hand-to-hand combat feel more about luck than mechanical skill. Well, I guess they're the better gamer. The gunplay. Where I think this game really finds its stride is in the firearm category. Sure, the guns aren't accurate and slow to reload, they're musket, and maybe a lot of the inaccuracies actually due to the arguably worst hit registration in all of gaming history, but who can really tell? I know I can't. If you shoot at someone 50 feet away with a musket and it doesn't hit, I honestly believe you won't think anything of it, and why would you? You're shooting a musket after all. So overall, I would give the game's gunplay a solid 6 out of 10. You might be thinking, oh, but you said the hit registration sucks. It does, and it probably will forever. But at the end of the day, you're shooting muskets, and who really cares? It's a fun game at $7. Movement. The movement sucks, period. Overall impressions. Overall, the game is definitely broken and not worth being taken seriously in any manner of the word. However, maybe that is where this game shines. For those who like silly voice chats and random bullshittery, this is a game you might want to call home for a few nights. I will happily recommend this game for the $7 CAD price tag I grabbed it for, but would be hesitant to recommend this game at full price. Overall, I would give it a 6.7 out of 10. Thanks for watching.